Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel English and Beyond. I'm CJ Roy and today we are going to the last video of active and passive voice. We are going to learn about some special sentences, some typical sentences which do not normally follow the rules of active and passive voice that we learned earlier. These are special typical sentences. So I'm going to give you a few of them and a few of these typical sentences and see how we normally change this into their passive forms. So without wasting time, let's get started with today's topic. Yes, special passive voice constructions. These things we normally use sentences with they, say, people believe, people think, let it be, etc. These are some of the sentences, some of the phrases or words with which we begin certain sentences. Now, when we have sentences of this model, this type, how do we change them into their passive forms? There are special forms of the passive voice used when the doer is unknown, unimportant, or general. For example, they say. They means it could be anybody. So we don't know who it is, unknown maybe. Or unimportant. For us, they are not important. Or generally speaking, we just say in general. So for example, people say, they say, we use this. Next one, the sentence expresses beliefs, opinions, statements, or instructions whenever we give this one. Why do we use them? We use them to make language formal, impersonal, objective. Okay. To focus on the action and not who did it. As I said, by whom, not important. So we focus on passive voice is basically focusing on the action done, not on the person who does that action, not on the doer, but the action done. That is what passive voice. Now, this is very common in reports, report writings, academic writings, and official instructions when we give. So when you prepare a list or set of instructions, or when we write a formal writing, academic writing, when you write a report, you need to be more objective than personal. So it becomes a little impersonal. You need to be formal. These are formal situations. So formal situations, we do make use of passive voice. That's the advantage of learning passive voice. So let's see some of these things with examples. There are no fixed, hard and fast rules here. It's done, its answer is written or done in a particular way that applies. That's all. Passive voice, imperative sentences. So when we have imperative sentences, for example, do it. How do you change it into passive voice? Do it, let it be done. We start with let. This is more formal. Okay, let it be done. And it's common as well. It's formal and it's common in English. Let it be done. Now, I have nothing to explain much here. It starts with let and then you do it. You do it. It is the object. So let it, then the verb be, and then do. The main verb, this is the main verb, it's past participle V3 form. Let it be done. There is an alternate form as well here. Simple. That is simply say it should be done. Do it. It should be done. Okay. But more formal, more polished, more refined if you want to be, go for let it be done. Your first preference should be let, starting with let. All right? So it should be done. Fine. Close the door. Let the door. The door is the object. So let, first you need to put let. Let the door be, then be closed. V3 form. Let the door be closed, or else the door should be closed. Help him. Let him be helped. Let him be helped. Or he should be helped. Simple. Last one, tell the truth. Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. The truth should be told. Either way you can write. But as I said, The first one, beginning with let, is preferred here because it is more formal, more refined, more professional, more polished, simply beautiful. That doesn't mean the other one is wrong, of course. Next is passive voice with negative imperatives. First, now the previous one, let me show you that slide again. Here, do it, close the door, help him, tell the truth. They are all imperative sentences. Imperative sentences means you understand commands and requests. Okay. So here they are all affirmative. Now, when it comes to negative, how do you do? Don't touch the wires. Do it, don't do it. Like that. Touch the wires, don't touch the wires. So don't touch the wires. How do you do? Let the wires not be touched. See, don't touch the wires. Actually, subject is missing there. Missing it is understood. You don't touch the wires. Don't touch. Touch is the main verb. The wires object. So let the wires. Don't it is negative. Do not. So not we have to place. Let the wires not be touched. Or the wires should not be touched. Simple enough. Should not. Just add there. Don't waste water. Let water not be wasted. Water should not be wasted. Think about these exercises. Go through it again and see whether you understand or not. Don't try that again. Let that. Don't try that again. That is the object. Let that not be tried. Try is the main verb, V3 form. Let that not be tried. Let that not be tried again, or else it should not be tried again, or rather, instead of it, it should be that should not be tried again. That should not be tried again. Simple? Yes. Next here, impersonal passive and requests with it is said, you are requested. Okay, how do we do this one? It's another set of typical sentences. People say that he is honest. Now, who are these people? We are not worried. Generally, people say. Okay, people say. So, whenever we have this people say, we normally change this one into it is said. Okay, it is said. It is said that he is honest. Or else, he is said to be honest. He is said to be honest. Concentrate on this second column here, passive form here. Okay. So people say that he is honest. People say that he is mad. It is said that he is mad. They believe, next is they believe. So people say is one format here, and they believe that she is a genius. So they believe, it is believed. It is believed. This is a common usage we use. It is believed that she is a genius. Then remaining just continue. Actually, they are easy. You only need to know let and then it is said. Okay. Please do it again. Now this is it's a request, right? Please do it again. So please, you have to say you are requested to do it again. Please do it again. What's a passive form? You are requested to do it again. Next, please don't take it. Please don't take it. It's a formal common one. You are requested. You are requested not to take it. Casual. Formal and casual both same. Okay. So you understood here. So first we saw let it be done like that form. People say means it is said, it is believed, you are requested, this kind of thing. That's it. These special typical sentences. All right. Now we go to a little more I need to explain here. What is that? Passive not possible. Intransitive verbs. There are two types of verbs, transitive and intransitive. Transitive means the action passes from the doer, the subject, to the object. For example, she kissed me. If I say, her action of kissing passes from her to me. Okay. My mother kissed me. The action of my mother, what is the action? Kissing. It transfers from her to me, to the object. So that is transitive verbs. But there are some verbs in English language where the action doesn't transfer from the subject to the object. Means it cannot take an object. No object. Then How can the action take place if there is no object? The doer and the receiver is a one person. The doer and the receiver is a one person. So there is only one person, the subject. The subject is the doer, and the subject himself or herself receives that action. Funny? Yes. For example, we'll understand. She sleeps soundly. What's the passive form? No passive form. Because sleeps, this verb sleeps, do not take an object. Now, who is the doer here? She. She is the subject. Yes. She is the subject. Now, what does she do? Sleeps. That's a verb, action. Who receives the action? She herself. She herself. It doesn't pass on to. When I sleep, I sleep. I am the fellow who is sleeping. I am receiving that sleep. So it does not have an object. It will never have an object. So if you don't have an object, object becomes subject. So if you don't have an object, you cannot convert something into passive voice. Next one, she runs every morning. She runs every morning. The running action, or she walks every morning. The walking action happens. She does it and she receives it. Doesn't go on to somebody else. Okay. Next is they arrived late, arriving. Nobody receives her arriving. People can welcome us. That's a different verb altogether. So they arrived. Arriving, it. Who arrives? We, they. And who receives that? They themselves. So remember, this is the last video on active and passive voice. Let me tell you, we have completed the course here. So in the meantime, I need to tell you, when we learned tenses, I taught you what are the different tenses, 12 different tenses, how to frame statements, negative and affirmative, questions, affirmative and negative, 12 tenses, almost 48 types, different types of sentences we learned here. Okay, and now we learned how to change these sentences into passive voice. So passive voice, we have some extra auxiliary verbs added in different tenses. What are the auxiliary verbs? Everything we saw, very closely related active and passive voice. All right. We also learned that out of 12 tenses, 4 tenses we cannot have passive voice, and they are all the perfect continuous tenses: present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, plus future continuous we cannot change. So we can only change into the remaining 8 tenses out of 12 into passive voice. And again, among all the 8 types of sentences, only those sentences which can take an object, the verb which can take an object, only those sentences can be changed into passive voice. That means the verb has to be transitive. Transitive means transferring from one place to the other. The action passes from the subject to the object. And some verbs, the action doesn't transfer. It remains with the doer, the subject. Such verbs, when we cannot change into passive voice. Is that clear? I hope it's clear. And now, finally, let me just give you, for your benefit, you may take a screenshot of this and keep it for as a ready reckoner, maybe for you, some samples here. Okay. Simple present. That is subject plus is, am, are, anyone, of course, and V3. Simple past. Subject plus is, am, are, their past form, that is was or were plus V3. And in the future, subject plus will plus be plus V3. I will do it. It will be done by me. Like that. Continuous tense, subject plus is, am, are plus one being, and then V3. And in the past, subject plus was, were plus being, then V3. And future continuous, no passive voice. Perfect tense, subject plus, that is which perfect? Present perfect. Subject plus have, has plus been plus V3. Past perfect, subject plus had plus been plus V3. And future perfect, subject plus will plus have plus been plus V3. So this is what active and passive voice is all about, particularly passive voice. So let me tell you, Main rule, the subject in the active voice becomes the object in the passive voice. The object in the active voice becomes the subject in the passive voice. The main verb will always be used in what form? V3 form. Whatever may be the tense, V3 form. And then in the continuous tense, we need to add after the normal or auxiliary verb is, was, or were, am, are. After that, we need to use being. Okay. And in the perfect tenses, after has, have, had, or will have, we have to use been. So these are the things that we learned in the passive voice when we learned. So friends, dear learners, how did this all together? We have a few videos now altogether about active and passive voice. It's very important that you learn this passive voice. And now you must know the difference between active voice and passive voice. We learned when we use active and when we should use passive voice. All these things were learned in this. And I'm sure you had a lot of things to take home in these past few videos on active and passive voice. And in case you find any difficulty, any doubt, or if you need any clarifications, please come to the comment section and see. Just jot it down there and let me see how I can help you about this. And we completed one important piece of grammar. After learning tenses, the next important thing I would consider is active and passive voice. And I am sure this series has been, which series? Not the whole thing here, the voice series, a few videos have been very useful to you. And if you enjoyed this class, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel English and Beyond, which is, I'm sure, is helping you. And please don't forget to tap the bell icon so that you will not miss our next English. Until we meet again with another important topic, English grammar topic, I want you people to keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing with our channel English and Beyond. Thank you for watching and take care.